Like the recovery is insane. I feel like I could do that session again.
I think what I learned the most about 2023 is things can get hard and you just kind of have to embrace them, face them, and then just try. Still think it's probably the best year I've had on and off the track. I'm lucky enough to have so much of the country behind me. I'm lucky enough to have such an incredible support team with my coach, with the strength conditioning coaches, with management. There's so many people behind you, so it gives you that a little bit of push to kind of want to do more, doing it for others and doing it for a bigger purpose, which is to make more change with the sport.
I should have took my shirt off for the last one. I had my armband today. I'm gonna get one.
You could either take it as pressure, or you could either take it as like an excitement, and I've always found it pretty exciting, and like, I love it. I embrace it, and I think the goal is like to get more fans leading up to the next Olympics. Now, like I want to go even harder. It means more. There's more purpose to it now. It's not just this small athletic team, but you've got now everyone else that's around you. I was quite surprised how quick I got back, but at the same time I was kind of expecting it because I've been injured before, I've been in that place.
Here you go, in case you forget.
And then you learn it's not just also about the body, but it's also about the mind. You can be as fit as you want, but you get exposed if you don't put yourself in the right places.
Honouring Lucky Bala. 60 kgs, you rip? Yeah.
It's cutthroat, top 3, get through, and I think it was my first championship in the last few years that I didn't get through, which is really tough to process. It's a strange sport where you travel and you train the whole year and you're off the track in less than 2 minutes, and then you're not back on there the next day. Like I want to come back, I want to do better, but then there's also the other side of it, like do I want to do that again? Like the Olympics is 9-10 months away. Do I want to put myself in that position to be in Paris and get knocked out again on the first round? So you can take it either way, but the emotions, it's like a roller coaster. It's like one day you're motivated to be better, and the next day you're like, well, I don't want to put myself in that vulnerable position again. You're not only now doing it alone, but you've got just the Olympics as the pinnacle of the sport. You've got the whole world and the country watching you. And
I think that's my first
probably took a few months to kind of decide, like, yeah, like we're gonna leave that behind, and those few months was probably the healthiest month because you got to reflect, you got to take a break. I can't speak enough on taking a break from running when you're not feeling like doing it. I was 4th at the last Olympics, and the motivation is like, can you do 1 better, or can you do 3 better? And that's kind of the fire. Coming 4th was like one thing, and you kind of had a taste of what that meant. It's like, well, what would it feel like to be on the podium? What we want to be able to do is getting to that 600 and feeling like we can run that 26 seconds, or we can run faster, and that's what wins races at the end of the day.
Hey, ball!
I've got a great coach in Justin Rinaldi. His brilliance is really in his programming of the sessions.
Let's get after it. We're ready to go.
He sets sessions that he says, on paper they look quite easy on paper, but like when you get there, it's like, oh, it's actually tougher than it looks.
Your legs are heavy already.
Every single year, every single season, he's trying to add something new, something small, but at the end of the day, he's always just trying to preach. It's like, if you stay consistent enough over the years, you'll build slowly. He doesn't get too excited, trying to build you too fast. Justin's kind of always there for any different athletes that's ready to run. His love is for the sport and the development of sport, which is cool to have in your team.
You were slowing down though. The last one is like home times.
From first I met Chris, he's like, well, I don't come from a track background, but I promise if you come with me, I'll learn, I'll do the research, and I'll get you to where you want to get. He implanted this seed in the gym where I was like, well, you do everything with intent. Like, you lift with intent. You don't just do shit for the sake of it.
And attack the ground from the mid-air. So you're here and it's bang.
Yeah, the plan is to kind of keep training and build up. In February, do 2 races, and then we've got the Olympic trials obviously in April. Run that.
This is the workout you do on the mats, on the high jump mats. Yeah. It's so like, this is not part of the workout.
Been ran Australia in so long. I think it was like a year since I ran, so it'd be great to open up my season in Australia, whether that would be an 800, whether that be a mile. It just makes sense. It's home. I love running at home, and I think it's time. I'm getting in that shape. And previously I've always had major success overseas if I started my season at home. So being able to be the best and now like doing this completely 2 different things. It's like connecting what we spoke about with action. Like everyone can dream and say like, we want to be at the Olympics. We want to win medals, we want to be in the podium, we want to be in the final, but doing it is a completely different things. And all the resources we have and with the coaching staffs, and like we can do that. We'd want to build this brand to be bigger than track itself, and in a way get track even bigger. You know, just be happier and healthier and stronger. I think what excites me the most about doing this series is you see track, you see Peter, as in like we're just running laps and training, and what are you doing outside of training? You know, like the cool stuff that we kind of do that you don't get to see the behind the scenes. I think the beauty of being a professional athlete is like, it's not whether you're hurt or not, it's like whether you can stay relaxed and how we get there, like the mental side of things and the pressure side of things. The goal is to get to the Olympics. It's the road to Paris, right? But at the end of the day, like nothing is guaranteed. And I think the beauty is in the storyline behind the scenes and how did we get there? Or if we didn't, like why didn't we get there? And the only way you can really have answers is by looking at the storyline, and we're here to show it.